Welcome back. I'm joined by actor André Holland. You know him from everything. Moonlight, Selma, Castle Rock, The Nick, and now his new film, High Flying Bird, directed by Steven Soderbergh, is on Netflix. So, hello, get familiar. Hi.
How you doing?
This is such a pleasure. I'm so excited to talk to you. I've seen all kinds of work. You play a sports agent during an NBA lockout, which is in no way stressful, in High Flying Bird, but you also executive produce the film, that's interesting. So why did you want to tell this story?
Well, the whole thing started with conversations that Steven Soderbergh and I were having back on set when we were doing The Nick back 5 years ago. And it was at a moment in my career personally where I felt like I wanted to have more agency, more say over the decisions and the sort of shape of my career. So those conversations combined with some other conversations that Steven and I were having just around like sports and politics, it sort of led to this idea.
And it's funny you bring that up because I was, of course, just thinking about the Super Bowl and, you've worked with Ava and, she's been very eloquent in talking about, Colin Kaepernick and protesting the Super Bowl. And so I did want to ask, like, is this an ongoing conversation for you personally, sports and politics, now they come together? Yeah,
very much so. Very much so. When we first started talking about the film, Steven and I, it was around the time that the Donald Sterling tapes came out. Yeah, so, exactly. So, and then since that time, obviously, Colin Kaepernick's situation has been happening. LeBron having his home vandalized with the N-word and the shut up and dribble and all these things that we hear going on. So it's definitely a part of my own personal consciousness and woven into the fabric of the film, too.
I saw an interview you did, and you were, just the other day, and you were talking about the role the Negro Sports League plays in, like, kind of American history, and, of course, it is Black History Month. What's an aspect of that history, that you wish more people knew about?
Well, when I did this film 42, about Jackie Robinson, many years ago. And so in doing the research for that part, I came to know a lot more about the Negro Leagues. And the thing I remember taking away from it was that prior to, Jackie Robinson integrating Major League Baseball, which of course was a wonderful thing, but the underside of that was that this hugely profitable, successful Black enterprise was decimated as a result of that, Yeah, and you don't really think about the sort of the underbelly of these transactions.
Like out of the segregation, there was this vibrant Black business.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, it was vibrant, and like, I mean, you look at cities like my city, Birmingham, or cities like Pittsburgh, Detroit, that had these major teams. You have hotels that spring up around them, and restaurants, and ticket takers. There's a whole ecosystem, built around those teams. And so, of course, when Jackie went to play for the Brooklyn Dodgers, the people who were going to see the Crawfords play now want to go see if Jackie's going to make good. And so that impacts the whole sort of economic infrastructure. So that's also, it's fascinating, man. It's fascinating. But that's one of the things I was interested in exploring with this project is what's the underside of these things.
Absolutely. Of course, we were talking before we went live. I saw you at the Public Theater in Tarell Alvin McCraney's brother-sister plays with Brian Tyree Henry, Sterling K. Brown. Like, I think it was 2009. It was like, wow.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
So good. Time for a revival. A lot of people also know you from your work with Steven Soderbergh on The Nick. They work together on this, and I think of their work being pretty different. So what was it like kind of having them both, in the same room creatively?
It was amazing. It was amazing. I remember the first time that they met, the three of us met on Steven's birthday, actually. And just, I sat and just sort of listened to the two of them talk. I mean, two great minds, like, talking about this really interesting idea. It was really powerful. In a way, I think that they're kind of perfectly suited for each other. Because Tarell's work tends to be, hyper-verbal. I mean, like hyper-verbal. The movie it feels like a play at times. And I can't think of any director who could capture those kinds of two people in a room having a conversation in a cinematic way, as well as Steven does.
All right, meeting of the minds. Well, to that point, working with Tarell, you've worked with him on stage and Moonlight. Congratulations. That was a great little project that did pretty well. And now with this movie, that's wonderful. That is going on like a 10-year creative relationship at the least. What is it about Tarell? I mean, a lot of people are being introduced to his work now via Netflix or Choir Boy, but what is it like working with him in such a sustained way?
It's amazing. It's the most significant professional relationship that I have. I mean, discovering his work really is what I think gave me a career. I came out of grad school and felt completely lost, and I didn't know quite where I belonged. And the two of us got introduced, and right away I thought, you know what? This guy's writing about people that I recognize. There's a place for me here. And so I've basically been following him around for the past 15 years, and I don't plan on letting him go. So.
I love it. Speaking of grad school, I know you went to school with DANAI GURIRA.
I did.
That's incredible. And I think the New York Times, you two did a little piece together recently. I was getting my whole life, like, oh my God, these two actors, and they know each other and they're friends. You know, I think of her, you know, Black Panther, The Walking Dead, tough, fearsome, rightfully so, women. Is she like that in real life? Like, what's she?
Listen.
Are you scared of your friend?
DANAI's tough.
Okay.
She's tough. Now, she's also, you know, sweet, soft, and kind of what she wants to be, but, you know, she, as we used to say in the South, she don't take no tea for the fever.
Okay.
She's a tough one. But what's great about that, you know, that program that we went to, NYU's grad acting program, DANAI went there, myself, Sterling K. Brown went there.
Wow.
Mahershala went there. I mean, there's like, I could go on, Susan Kalichi Watson, who's on This Is Us with Sterling, went there. I mean, so many people came out of that program. It's there's something really special that they have going over there.
Okay, so I love this. I love finding out, like, brilliant people. It's not a coincidence that they're vibing and everything, that actually it's like, you know, community. What's it like having these long relationships with all these wonderful creative minds and actors, and y'all are all doing so well now? What's it feel like?
It's great. It feels like a little family, man. It's like, you know, there are times when, you know, I'll get sent a script or I'll be working on a project and I might feel stuck, and I'll call DANAI and be like, D, you know, will you read this thing with me? Help me figure this thing out. Or she may call me and say, Andre, I'm working on this idea. What do you think about this? Or what do you think about this book? You know?
Wow.
And the same is true of Tarell and of Sterling and of, you know, our whole community. We really, really work hard to support each other. And that feels, I think that to me is like the best thing about having gone to that training program, is the community that you get as a result.
That's incredible. Y'all don't have a group text, do you?
I have a group text with Brian, Tyree, and Sterling, and Tarell, and several other people.
I'm overwhelmed.
You can join if you want to.
Oh, don't threaten me with the time now, Andre. Don't threaten me. I wouldn't know what to do. But the other thing is that, of course, you know, Netflix love to just surprise people.
Yeah.
That is kind of, Netflix like, okay, we see you, Beyonce. We're going to do this too. So this movie was a surprise announcement, and it's a thrill. I wanted to know, what are you working on next? Do you have any other surprises for us?
Well, I got a few up my sleeve. Okay. But in the immediate future, I'm going to take a little bit of a break just because, you know, I need to... You know, take care of myself a little bit. Spend some time with my parents, with my family, and yeah, and then I'll figure out what's going to be next. But
I love that.
Mostly, I'm producing going forward, so I'm really excited about a few projects, which I'll come back and talk to you about soon.
Anytime.
All right.
Well, Andre, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Keep shining. Keep
Thank
shining.
you.
Friends, High Flying Bird is on Netflix now. Watch it and tweet about it.